Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today we're going to be talking about one of the Houston Texans selections today in day 3. The Houston Texans with pick 201 select Jarrett Patterson, a center who can also play right guard from Northern Dame. Definitely a solid pick here. It's just, when I saw this, a lot of things started wondering, okay, you draft Patterson at the center position, who was the starter at Northern Dame. You draft Juice Scruggs, who was Penn State's starter yesterday. In yesterday's draft, you drafted him yesterday in the third round, or the second round actually. So I don't know what this means. Is one of those guys move into the guard position because, which I don't also see, because Shaq Mason is sitting right now at right guard. Is Kenyon Green, who is questionable for the start of training camp. So I view both of these guys as starters, because Jarrett Patterson was a starter most of his career in Northern Dame at Northern Dame, and Juice Scruggs was a starter most of his career in Penn State. I think it was like 34 games. I'm thinking of Patterson. He started 34 games at center and 12 at right guard. But Juice Scruggs also played right guard. So I guess they're looking for centers who can also play right guard. Potentially, maybe if Kenyon Green's not ready to go to the season, maybe opening week 1, if Kenyon Green's not ready to go, maybe one of those rookies will be starting at center, and one of the other rookies is going to be starting at right guard potentially. But I like the pick with Jarrett Patterson potentially. If this means that, potentially that either Patterson or Scruggs will end up being a bench player, and a starter if one of the O linemen gets hurt. That's definitely a possibility. But besides that, I really like it. And Patterson, he's a guy who in 1,500 something block attempts in his 46 games at Northern Dame only gave up 2 sacks, which really intrigues me. It's something that I know he's a 5th round, that's a 6th round draft pick. No, he's a 6th round draft pick or 5th round. I think that's a 6th round. I think 201's in the 6th round, but I'm not too sure on that. Yeah, I think 6th round. So yeah, he's a 6th round draft pick, but and I know Scruggs, he's a 2nd round draft pick, and I don't know about Scruggs, with him allowing sacks, but that was a big problem for the Texans the last season, is allowing sacks. Davis Mills was sacked about one of the most was about the most quarterbacks sacked in the season last year. Probably, I haven't looked the stat up, but probably second most was Justin Fields. I know Justin Fields was one. I think Davis Mills was probably sacked the second most, with how bad that offensive line was with giving up sacks. And that makes me want Jarrett Patterson to be a starter even way more. And I know, some players, they don't carry over stuff they did in college football over to the NFL, but that stat, not giving up a lot of sacks, it's something the Texans really struggled in last season, and that makes me want to see more of Jarrett Patterson in preseason and training camp, see what he has at the center position. And hearing that stat, only allowing 2 sacks and 1,500 block attempts in 46 games makes me, say, well, maybe we should have a center competition between Juice Scruggs and Juice Scruggs and Jarrett Patterson. I'm down for either one, and there's a potential chance maybe week 1, whoever is the center, maybe the other player you drafted is the right guard. Maybe the Texans did this on purpose, where they draft 2 centers that can both play right guard. Looks a little intentional, but like I said, that's really intriguing to me with the sacks, with Jarrett Patterson. I think there's definitely maybe going to be a potential a potential competition. But like the only thing to me is like, All right, why draft somebody in the second round to most likely be your starting center with Juice Scruggs, and then draft Jarrett Patterson in the sixth round to compete with your second rounder, who I think Jarrett Patterson's going to be pretty good too. So I think both players can be decent, and we're just gonna have to see what ends up happening with these two guys, and if there's a competition at the center position, if one of them maybe plays right guard to start the year, or in preseason or training camp with Kenyon Green on the IL, or not on the IL. I've been watching too much baseball. With Kenyon Green injured and possibly questionable to start the season, or not start the season, but to start questionable for the start of training camp. So it's going to be really interesting to see. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoy them. Your thoughts on the selection for the Texans today, and peace out. Go Texans.